Okay? Have a look at this. This is what we're going to be watching tonight. I have up here, I have the full entire John Barilaro resignation speech, and we're all going to watch it and enjoy it together. And we're going to pick apart every little thing the cunt says, and we're going to have a great time. I'm going to be live reacting to John Barilaro's resignation. It's going to be a great time. And then, after that, we're going to watch Friendly Geordie's video. 44 minutes! Fuck that! I don't want to watch 45 minutes! Oh, no, wait. That's Bruz Eternal. Okay, how long is Bruz Exodus? Is that finished premiering yet? How long's that? 10 minutes. I've got 10 minutes. All right, sweet. All right, let me know. I haven't done a browser stream before. Never done a live react. So let me know if the sound is off or the levels are shit or anything like that. Just let me know, all right? Let's begin.
For the past 10.5 years as the member for Monero, and over the past almost 5 years as the Deputy Premier, it's been a real honour to serve the people.
Oh, he's almost crying!
The Monero electorate and the people of New South Wales. Most importantly, the people of regional and rural New South Wales, to be their voice. And I hope you can see that I fought along the way.
All right, I'm going to bump the volume. I'm bumping the volume. All right. Desktop audio is coming up.
Geez, over that time, we've enjoyed some tough days. Through the worst drought in regional rural New South Wales in recorded history, then the bushfires, floods, the mice plague, and then the global pandemic of COVID hitting not only the regions, but our state, the nation, and the globe.
And I did fuck all. Yeah. I mean, how good is that starting off your resignation speech with all of these bad things happened. Yeah, that's kind of it. That's the only things that I can remember from my 10 years of being a politician is all of the bad things that happened. I can't remember a single good thing that I did. Actually, I made a bit of money. That was real good.
It's been a tough run, and being tasked by the Premier of the day that I take on the role in areas of like disaster recovery, the Minister responsible. You know, I've spent days in people's kitchens with people that have lost their homes, people who are enduring the drought. And I hope in that time you could see that not only did I shed tears with you, but I actually tried hard to make sure that we together were able to find hope and light.
And that's exactly what we want in a premier, isn't it? You know, like when my house burns down and it's full of mice and my children are sleeping in a tent while mice eat their eyes, what I really need is a big fat rich cunt to come into my kitchen, which by the way is now burnt down, and to just cry. Great. That's what I look for in a premier. A dude that's going to come over to my house and cry. Stay the fuck away from my house, sit in your office and do your job, cunt. How about that? I hate politicians that go to affected places. It's a waste of time. You ever see fucking like Scott Morrison hanging out with the people in the bushfires? I'd be looking at him and go home. You're not needed here, dude. Do your job at home. I'll send you a picture. Fuck off.
For this state. 10.5 years is a long time in politics. 5 years is a very long time as a leader of a political party, as a leader that takes on the role as Deputy Premier. And as the role in Deputy Premier, I've taken that seriously and I've given it everything I possibly could have. For all of you, you know,
and he's taken everything too, hasn't he?
I fight each and every day for what I believe in, and I genuinely do it because I care about the role and the people of New South Wales, and it's been an absolute privilege.
Mate, the only role this cunt cares about are sausage rolls, all right? Look at him. He is thinking about that first sausage roll he's going to get, all right? He's like, man, speaking of rolls, fuck, a good, like, king-size sausage roll from 7-Eleven and a dare, all right? That's what he's looking forward to.
Along this journey, I've been able to serve under some incredible premiers, incredible colleagues that I call now friends, especially my grassroots members in the National Party, my parliamentary colleagues in the National Party, my parliamentary colleagues in the Liberal Party. I wish, of course, the Liberal Party in their deliberations about their next leader, and as we saw yesterday, no doubt, it looks like Dominic Perrottet, someone I call a friend, someone I know that will take this state right now at a time that
Man.
needs strong leadership through the opening.
This guy, have you noticed how he keeps like standing on his toes? Every now and then he keeps going like this. Halfway through a sentence he goes like that. That's some shit that I used to do when the teacher would make me apologize to the class for distracting everyone. I'm really sorry for disrupting everyone's learning. I just think that making fart noises is a lot more interesting than English. Thank you. Sorry.
Up the end of the pandemic.
He's trying to look taller.
Recovery.
Yeah.
And I genuinely believe in his role as treasurer, he has all the skills and all the ability, and if endorsed as the leader of the Liberal Party, Premier of this state, he'll do a wonderful job. It has been an incredible journey, one that you can't just put in grabs or in words in front of a camera. But can I say I have enjoyed every single day of it.
Okay, that's a lie, all right? He has not enjoyed. Have you seen the last 6 months of this cunt's life? He has not had a good time in the last 6 months. You know, his bank account and the investment portfolio, smashing it, crushing it, doing great. I bet the guy who manages his finances is having a good day. This cunt is crying standing on his tippy toes. He's not having a good time.
But it has taken a toll. It is tough on anybody in public life to continue in this role, especially under so much...
Especially. Hey, bro. Especially. Not especially. Especially? Especially, bro. Come on, bros.
I say I have enjoyed every single day of it.
Lie.
But it has taken a toll. It is tough on anybody in public life to continue in this role, especially under so much scrutiny, especially media scrutiny.
Especially.
And that's good. That's great for democracy. It's great for transparency. But it also means that for many of us, we do think about when we end our journey.
Oh, poor millionaire politicians getting in trouble because the mean YouTubers and the naughty newspapers point out when you lie. Oh, boo, that sucks. It's great for democracy, but it's not when it happens to me. Guys, everyone apologize in the chat for bullying Bruz, all right? He's just trying to set up his family in a 10-bedroom mansion, okay? I mean, who wouldn't in his position?
I've been thinking about this for a long time. Many of you have been reporting my exit for a while. Seeing Andrew Constant yesterday announce that he'll exit state politics was, in one way, a moment that made me think about when was the right time. There is never a right time, but I know as the architect of the roadmap and we get to open up on Monday.
Man, when there's whispers of you being an investigation being started by ICAC against you for corruption, that I would say is the right time to leave. You know, when hundreds of thousands and millions of people are watching you very, very closely online because it's funny to point out potential corruption, that is the right time to leave. I would say, you know, when you open up YouTube and you see your face photoshopped as a meatball on the front page of YouTube, that's the right time to leave. When you resigning, a matter that generally no one should really give a fuck about if you did your job normally, gets millions of views and is live streamed on Twitch, that's the right time to resign. I disagree.
As someone that has delivered the roadmap, not only just in 2020, but this year, I'm confident that this state now has bright days ahead of us, and it is the right time for the state, for me, for the Liberal Party and the National Party, a new freshness, a refresh of the government of the day. And I look forward from the sidelines to be cheering. And I'm confident that under Dominic Perrottet and whoever the National Party will elect as leader, we'll get there. You know, there will be lots of speculation about the leader of the National...
Speculation. Especially. Lots of speculation. He's really not making it any better for himself. You know? It's hard to be a politician, especially when everyone's speculating about me.
Party going forward, can I say, I've been serving with incredible people that anyone can take up that mantle. Any of my colleagues have the ability and the strength and the courage to take up that mantle, and I do absolutely encourage that. Can I say that in public office, everything's always laid out to bear, and in my life over this journey...
Can I say your haircut looks like my fucking year 10 PE teacher, but your body looks like my science teacher? That's what I would like to say.
I've been quite honest with the media and the public about moments in my life. The
Lie.
good days and some of the tough days, and even my own personal experiences. And, you know, that in itself has shaped who I am as the style of leader that I am. But, you know, even in these recent months and over the...
What style of leader is this cunt? Like, the dude's gone viral for being very unlikable and potentially for corruption. You like my little potentially there? I cannot afford a fucking lawsuit. I've got 2 rents right now. John, all right? Have some fucking mercy. I know you're up to your eyes in paperwork trying to sue Jordan, all right? Leave it there. Leave me alone. I can't afford it. I'll give up. I'll roll over, bro. I don't care. I'll open my wallet. You can take the wallet. It's worth more than the money in it.
Past 12 months especially... the very public defamation case that I have going at the moment,
let's go.
Unbelievable, you know, that I have to defend myself from vile and racist attacks in a social setting, in a social media setting, by individuals, and, you know, $1 trillion company like Google.
What? Come on, cunt. You can't blame Google. Is this cunt seriously blaming Google for this shit? Oh, boo-hoo. A website let someone upload a video about me. Get fucked.
Case that I have going at the moment, unbelievable, you know, that I have to defend myself from vile and racist attacks in a social setting, in a social media setting, by individuals, and, you know, $1 trillion company like Google allow...
Man, this cunt is talking like Emily with BLM in her bio.
From vile and racist attacks in a social setting, in a social media setting, by individuals, and, you know, $1 trillion company like Google allow that sort of vile racial attack on any individual, regardless of public figure or not, to remain, is something that I can't believe in 2021 still exists.
I can't believe that in 2021 a website would leave up a video that calls me a meatball. Bro, you got called a meatball. It's fine, dude. It's a little insult. It's a little bit spicy. You like spice. You know, look, you're Italian. You like spice. You like the spicy meatball.
As a young boy of migrant parents, I grew up. I understood what racism was. Called many of those names. I didn't think in 2021 that'll continue. And that in itself, can I say, was very difficult this year. And to be able to defend myself and...
Cunt, you don't get to fucking start the defamation lawsuit and then complain about it. It's like, oh, gee, it gets really hot when I put my hand in the fire. I can't believe that when it's 2021, my hands still get burned when I put it in the fire and hold it there instead of remove. If it sucks that much, dude, run away like you are now. Withdraw the lawsuit. Fucking hell.
I continue with that case. I prefer to do it privately, not in the public eye. And that's been a big reason for today's announcement, along with the opportunity that has now opened.
So he's just, sorry to keep pausing it, but there's a lot in that last fucking 1 minute. So basically he's just said a big reason why he's resigned is Friendly Jordies, the defamation lawsuit. That's fucking awesome. A big reason why he left is because of Friendly Jordies. That's fucking sweet.
And that maybe now is the refresh. Can I just say thank you to everybody, to my colleagues, to everybody that I've met on this journey. I've made some wonderful friends. And for that, I will always be indebted. I'm going to be a keen watcher of politics, but not a participant. I'll make this clear now, so I don't have to answer the question later. I have no intention and no will that I'll be running for Eden Monero or for federal politics.
Let's go!
I'm leaving politics, and I'll look to a new career. I turned 50 in November, maybe a bit of a midlife crisis.
Maybe just a crisis in general. Maybe a crisis of spirit. Maybe you've realized all the shit that you've done is catching up with you and people are starting to take notice. Maybe that's the real crisis, that millions of people are now watching videos and reading articles and becoming more politically aware and are noticing when you do things that seem, that appear, that apparently, that according to other people, not myself, seem perhaps to appear maybe as a joke, corrupt. Fucking pussy.
but I'm definitely thinking about what's next. I'm going to take some time out, but I generally I won't be running for federal politics. And to finish it off in my style, as I always do.
Are you going to rob everyone in front of you? In my style, give me your fucking money.
One of the other reasons I'm leaving today is to watch Stuart Ayres gloat over Panthers winning the grand final yesterday. It was just too much to bear in the cabinet. So today, I say farewell to the people of New South Wales. I say thank you for your support. Thank you for allowing me and giving me the privilege and the honour to serve as Deputy Premier, and to my colleague to serve as Leader of the National Party. Thank you very much.
Now, I'm going to give him credit here. Fucking awesome so that's his speech done. Props to him for sitting there now for what is like 18 minutes and answering questions from journalists. That's fucking brave. You gotta say it, that's great. Because Gladys didn't do that. She ran like a coward. She finished her speech and then ran out of the room. Like Usain Bolt saw that shit and was like, wow, that bitch is fast. Fuck, I hope she doesn't steal my Optus brand deal, because that chick is fast. So this is cool that he's doing this.
This is really difficult on not just the family but friends. You know, when you take, like, the defamation case itself drags in.
Well, here we go.
Even some of my staff, you know, who have been supporting me, and some of my political opponents have decided to even try and play in this space, and I don't wish on them what I'm enduring. So,
oh, boo-hoo. Political opponents are bringing up the idea that maybe suing a fucking autistic Warhammer YouTuber for calling you a meatball is a bad look. Boo-hoo.
I make no quip about that, and I'm just careful what I do say, because it's a live defamation case. But I've got to say, you know, my family, I couldn't have done this. They gave me the privilege.
Man, you know what my family couldn't have done? Just broken the quarantine, the COVID laws, and crossed the border many times in a row without getting giant fines. My family couldn't have done that. Would have loved to bring them here. They couldn't do that.
Of being able to get into politics, and without them I wouldn't have been able to achieve it. They've paid the ultimate sacrifice. They've worn the brunt of it, but to them,
yeah, but dude, it must every day if I was John Barilaro's wife, it must be absolutely terrible to wake up in a massive mansion and then check the earnings from my Airbnb. I couldn't think of anything worse than waking up in the morning, looking at my phone and going, oh shit, the Airbnb made $10,000 yesterday. That's fucking terrible. Oh my God, the Italian club is booming. This sucks. Oh, anyway, I'm going to go for a little bit of a drive across 3 state lines. Do you want to come?
I say thank you for giving me the opportunity. And, you know, in that last 10 and a half years, last year was very tough when I lost Dad. Dad was a big part of me getting into
That's
politics.
sad.
Someone that was part of his community. And today it's almost time to say farewell properly in honour of Dad.
Is that not fucking weird? I've announced that I am resigning in honor of my father. I dedicate this failure to my dead dad. Is that not strange?
I have to be honest, what occurred on Friday hasn't played any part in the decision that I've made.
Liar. Gladys resigning hasn't played any part. If I was thinking of quitting and then my boss quit, I'd be like, sweet, fucking, I'm going to do it now. Absolutely. 100%, I guarantee you, he was going to quit. This has just moved it up in the timeline. Of course Gladys fucking quitting would cause an impact. If you were thinking about leaving your job and then the boss quit, you'd be like, oh, sweet, I'm out. That's easy. Not going to get in trouble.
The reality, and many of you guys have been pushing me, and I've unfortunately not been able to be honest with you, but I've been thinking about this for a while. I had another date picked in mind, not too far off.
I really love how, like, salty he is talking to these cunts. He's like, a lot of you guys were pushing me. A lot of you guys are really mean to me, and you wanted me to quit ages ago. Welcome to being a politician, cunt. Welcome to being any kind of fucking public figure. Do you know how often I check my comments and I see people telling me that I'm shit or to stop? It happens all the fucking time. I mean, I'm not robbing those people, you know, in Minecraft allegedly as a joke. I'm not scamming these cunts or using my position of power to rort systems, you know. I'm not. I'm not saying that you are, but I'm definitely not. I know that I'm not, and I'm sure that you wouldn't, because that would be bad.
But I just think with the opportunities that have now arisen, and it'd be unfair that at some point this week, under Dominic Perrottet as Premier, he'll be swearing in a new cabinet. It'd be just unfair and not right to go down to Government House, to get sworn in, and only weeks later to step aside. This state is in the midst of the pandemic, and yes, there's hope.
He quit way earlier than he was going to.
Effort throughout this period.
Team
Gladys
effort.
has been absolutely at the forefront of that and led.
Wow, so you guys worked really closely as a team, and then you both quit together. Her after getting accused of corruption, you because of mysterious stress reasons, potentially getting wind of something coming up for you. Gee, how suspicious. You worked as a team together, and then you quit at the same time, her because of corruption. That seems like you guys are still working as a team.
The charge. But the team behind it is still there. The team that includes so many ministers and public servants are there, ready for Monday's opening. And there's never a right or wrong time to leave politics, but I genuinely believe that now that the Premier's leaving and Andrew Constance has indicated his intent to leave, I genuinely think it's the right and proper thing to do, to be honest with people and not put my hand up.
People were pretty rocked though by the Premier's resignation.
Fuck the masks, make it difficult.
Well,
what did she
I'm the
say?
steady hand. I'm sure that's been reported in the past. I'm not the steady hand, but look, it's true and not true. But look,
I love how bitter the cunt is about the press. I love that. Oh, you guys said this, but, you know, like every question is like, oh, you guys called me stupid and a meatball, but...
I've spent the vast time as Deputy Premier with Gladys as her deputy, and I've served her. And, you know, losing your partner is actually tough. But at the same time, you know, for the people in New South Wales, you've got to understand that the executive of the government is cabinet. The Treasurer plays an important role. Senior ministers play an important role. Senior public servants play an important role.
The fixated persons unit play an important role.
And the idea that I leave somehow destabilises the government is not right. Can I say, yes, it's a tough time, but I think it's the right thing to do, to be honest with the public, that the fight's over. I've lost the fight.
Yeah, you have, cunt. At least he's fucking honest. At least he's honest. You know what this is like? This is like he knew he was going to lose the election. He knew shit was going to come up. He knew that his public image was just getting smashed and smashed and smashed. And he knew that continuing on this defamation case while he's still a politician will just make him look like a complete pussy, which he is. You know, judging by his fucking behavior, he can't handle an autistic Warhammer YouTuber calling him a meatball in a few videos, and then he can't handle the media asking a politician questions. You can just tell that this cunt wanted to be a fucking businessman, right? Watch him do that. Watch him get some cushy job in some big business that may or may not be a donor. Like, this guy doesn't want to be a politician. He doesn't want to fucking help people. He wants to be a businessman. That's what he's done since he started. That's what he's going to do now. He's going to go off and live his fucking dream before ICAC comes knocking.
And it is time for me to go, and I think it is appropriate to be honest, and that's what I've done today.
Glenn made it clear that her resignation couldn't come at a worse.
This guy needs to fucking tone it down. Look at what this cunt's wearing. All right? Get rid of the fucking handkerchief. Look at this dude. Get rid of the handkerchief. Something about this cunt makes me mad. Look at this dude. What's with the pocket square, bro? You using that? That's disgusting. Get rid of it.
This time, in her view, for New South Wales, because of the point at which we are in transitioning to a new COVID normal. There's still a lot to go in that space. We're a senior member of the crisis cabinet.
Yeah.
If Berejiklian thinks that it couldn't come at a worse time for her to go, why do you think that it comes at a good time for you to go?
James,
Good
let's be
question.
honest, the Premier of the day is the face of the government, steers the ship, holds the firm hand on the decisions and the direction, and she's done that, and she's done that well. And the outcry we've seen from the community is
Not
justified.
answering it. Not
But
answering
to
it.
think that the Deputy Premier, in one way, is able to hang around and disrespect that he's been part of a team is wrong. I have played an important role. I'm proud of that as the architect of the roadmap. I'm proud of what I've achieved
Not
in
answering the
2020.
question.
I'm proud of what I've achieved in 2020.
Not answering the question.
But entrusted by many to get us out, and by the Premier. I mean, that's the ultimate
Hey, dude, you said this, but if you take into account that, it doesn't make sense. So, what is it? And he goes, you know what? You know what? You know what? I'm fucking great. How good am I? I've done a lot of cool shit. Yeah, but what you said before doesn't make any sense. And I'm answering your question. I'm a fucking sick cunt, and I'm a legend.
trust from a Premier like Gladys to have given me the trust to do that. But to think that it's just me is wrong. I've worked with a team, a wonderful team of ministers
This is
and,
so
and
good.
public servants.
This is so good. His answer is, I do fuck all. like that's what he's saying. He goes, I know you think that I'm really important, but actually I just sit at the top of a bunch of people that do all of the work, and then I just make sure that my investment portfolio is looking really healthy. This cunt is saying, I don't do anything. That's what he's saying. He's going, look, Gladys is important. She's the face, right? But even she's not doing anything. She's just showing up at press conferences and avoiding you annoying cunts. Me, I mean, I don't do fucking anything. I have 16 assistants that do everything for me. I just make sure my mates get opportunities. That's all I do, mate. I'm a networker. And then he jumps in a fucking sewer pipe and moves into an underwater level.
Achieve everything, and I'm confident that now is the right time, that it doesn't destabilise and gives confidence to the people of New South Wales. I can give you confidence that things continue every day until there's a new Premier sworn, a new Deputy Premier sworn, a new Cabinet sworn. Don't think that this government isn't continuing as we speak.
He should be a background porn actor. Oh, dude, I mean, look at this guy. That's what he looks like. That is the face of a man watching a gangbang waiting for his turn, but he can't get hard. So he's just sitting there, horny, embarrassed, and flaccid. That's what this guy looks like. He's going, man, if I could get it up, I would throw it down. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to sit here and watch.
That could cause a general election.
Well, again, the idea of losing seats has never actually ever been at the heart of when I think about by-elections. When I made the decisions about the Upper Hunter, it wasn't about would we go into minority government or not. It was about doing the right thing. You've got to be honest with yourself, and you've got to be honest with your community. They are best served by a candidate or a local member, or from a ministerial perspective for the citizens of New South Wales, but someone that's still got the passion and the fight to keep going and the energy. And I just don't have the energy anymore.
That's
it's been
so good.
Big 10 and a half years and a huge almost 5 years as Deputy Premier. And so being honest with people is the right thing, and we'll face the election and we'll be judged on what we've achieved and what we've done. And can I say,
I mean, what have they achieved? They haven't done fucking anything at all. They sat there and let COVID take over the country and then didn't buy vaccines and even dodged Pfizer trying to buy vaccines, trying to sell us vaccines. The fucking vaccine company was like, hey, do you want to buy our product? And we were like, no, we're sweet. She'll be right. That's all these cunts have done for the last 2 years is they've she'll be righted for the last 2 years. Now, don't worry about it. We'll be fine. And now I live in Tasmania. These cunts have done nothing to the point where I've had to move to fucking Tasmania. I live with mice. I have a mouse-infested house, and I'm actually stoked. I just don't have the energy. You weren't doing anything anyway.
in the Monero, I'm proud of what I've done. In excess of $300 million just going into school infrastructure.
Yeah, how many of those going into your pocket?
I'm proud of what we've achieved in changing communities for the better and for the future. I'm proud that I've got to meet so many wonderful volunteers and community groups in the Monero that, in my mind, I will continue to call friends. I've got to learn more about my region as the local member.
Yeah, in your mind, you'll call them friends. I don't know about theirs.
And I know when they are asked to vote again in the future, they will consider the right person, as they've always done. And remember, I was a member that got elected with 700 votes in 2011, 1,200 votes in 2015, and only in the last election was there a significant swing that has taken my margin close to 12%. They get it right all the time. Never disrespect the punters or the voters, but they don't know what they're doing at a ballot box. They'll deal with the ballot of the day. Sorry, I'll go. Oh, look, you always have regrets.
Here we go.
They're points in time that you'll just accept that are part of the learning, the strengthening of your character. And look, there's no question.
Well, hang on. Strengthening of your character. The dude's just fucking quit over some YouTube videos. What do you mean strength of character? The dude doesn't, by his own admission, doesn't have much. He goes, oh, I'm tired, I give up. And what he's doing is he's quitting instead of losing an election. The cunt just said, oh, the most recent one, they started to swing. So the dude's just quitting instead of losing. Oh, I really don't like it when people vote against me as a politician, and I really hate that most normal people think it's weird for a politician to be sending the fixated persons unit to a guy who edits YouTube videos' house. Dude, this guy would not survive a fucking diss track. This guy's quitting over YouTube beef that fucking Logan Paul has managed to slog through since 2012. This cunt wouldn't survive a rice gum track. That's...
Last year was a tough time. You know, what was over policy over koalas ended up being a more difficult conversation, a difficult debate that got out of control. And you know, one of my...
Oh, hang on. Is he talking about the koalas? Let's go.
Strengthening of your character. And look, there's no question last year was a tough time. You know, what was over policy over koalas ended up being a more difficult conversation, a difficult debate that got out of control. And you know, one of my regrets is that we didn't steer that through in a different way. I ended up a month off, and that's been public, and that's been...
Hank, so, firstly, right, that's another Friendly Geordies thing. So that's the third one, right? The first one he's quitting over are all of the videos and all of the disparagement, right? The second one is the defamation lawsuit. That's a Jordan again. And now the third one, the koalas backlash. Jordan again. And he just fucking said, if you watch it, he didn't say he wish he did the policy different. He wishes he could steer the debate in a different way. So he's like, oh man, it really sucked when people got angry about all those koalas that burned to death. I wish we could have controlled the optics a little bit better there. Bro.
Well, spoken about. But
the only thing that got out of control, dude, was the fires that fucking burned those little cunts alive. He's basically saying he wishes he had more friends at News Corp. Absolutely. 100%.
you know, even the fallout I had with Andrew Constance, you know, I rang him yesterday. I thought he showed courage to do the decision he made, to do it so far in advance of a reshuffle, making sure the next generation of MPs have an opportunity to take his spot as a minister. I think was courageous. And in one way, Andrew and I have shared some experiences. And you know what I said to him yesterday, we can be friends again. And I think that's important.
Apart from yourself contributing to the cost of the Jordan Shanks case?
Can I just say...
Okay.
I'm here to talk about the people in New South Wales, and I'm exiting. And
great question. So this cunt's just asked him, is anybody else helping you pay for... Man, why does every fucking freeze frame look like he's in a gangbang trying to get it up? He's like, oh man, I should have fucking had a Viagra 15 minutes before I walked in here. Damn, should I go back to my car? I think I left it in the glove box. Fuck, I knew I should have taken that. Every single freeze frame on this cunt looks like he's in a gangbang. Ooh. Oh yeah. I can't fucking believe it. That's shocking. That's fucking shocking.
Today, we can be friends again, and I think that's important.
All right, so this cunt's about to ask him about who else is paying for your defamation lawsuit.
Apart from yourself contributing to the cost of the Jordan Shanks case?
Can I just say, I'm
Any politician who starts an answer with "can I just say," you will not going to get to the answer. Can I just say that I'm a fucking sick cunt and a legend, and I've done a really good job, and I've made a lot of friends with people that I met while they were volunteering, and I distracted them from volunteering so journalists could take photos of me and them, and then they went back to volunteering, and I never talked to them ever again. And we are really good friends, and we're best friends, and they will remember that for the rest of their lives because I'm a fucking legend. Can I just say that I'm cool?
I'm here to talk about the people in New South Wales, and I'm exiting. And you ask a question about who's paying the bill. I can tell you I'm paying the bill. But even to ask that question today, I now realise why you've probably cemented why I'm leaving today.
Oh, boo-hoo. A journalist asked a politician about a defamation lawsuit. He's going, well, see, it's stuff like that makes me want to quit. I fucking hate it when I get asked questions about things that are in the public interest. It sucks, bro. I just want to be a private citizen making stacks of cash and suing YouTubers for making funny vids.
A few more of your colleagues might think now is the time to leave state parliament, and if so, how many?
Oh, look, I don't know. I don't think so. I think, others will make their own mind up. There's been speculation on others, but no, I haven't heard anything, and there shouldn't be speculation. I think people are excited about the new government that's just about to be formed, and many will stick around.
The ICAC investigation, are you required to give evidence? Is that the reason behind this?
First rule of Fight Club is not talk about Fight Club. Remember that.
How funny is it when my boss and my friends are getting investigated by ICAC? The first rule of politicians getting investigated for corruption is don't fucking help the pigs. Never ever fucking help the pigs. When my boss gets accused of corruption and they have significant evidence, the first rule of Fight Club is to never help them, because friends protect friends and mates protect mates. And if other people who knew things were helping the Commission Against Corruption, then we would all get into big troubles. And so the first rule of ICAC is fuck ICAC. Ha ha ha. Isn't that great? Isn't that what we want in a fucking politician? A guy who won't help the Commission Against Corruption. I mean, is that fucking crazy to expect that if the Commission Against Corruption comes knocking on a politician's door and asks questions about their colleagues, that they wouldn't give them any information they know? I mean, if they don't have anything to hide, as they shouldn't, then it should be fine. That's fucked. That pisses me off, dude.
Great movie. The truth is this: Fight Club is not talk about Fight Club. Remember that from a great movie. The truth.
Hang on. This cunt just went. This cunt just goes. The first rule about Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. I remember that from a great movie. What movie? Does this cunt that stupid that he doesn't know that it's called Fight Club? You fucking said it. But the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. That's a quote from a good movie of which the title I cannot recall. Was it Battle Group? Oh my god.
First rule of Fight Club is not talk about Fight Club. Remember that from a great movie. The truth is this, firstly, if you are you've been subpoenaed or anything from the ICAC, you actually aren't allowed to talk about it. But more than that, I've learned in my time in politics, leave the ICAC stuff alone. It's an independent body that needs to make judgment on issues. And we saw on Friday what they have now publicly announced. It's been an outcry by the public. Let's allow those proceedings to go ahead, and you're not going to get any commentary from me about what the ICAC is, my position, or any other position of any other minister or member, or even what the Premier is facing. The reality is, I've made it an absolute #1 rule never to talk about the ICAC.
How did Dominic react to the news that you were leaving?
Look, Dom's a friend. It's rare you leave this building and call some of your colleagues friends. I can honestly tell you he tried hard to keep me to stay. He was always excited of the opportunity to have a Perrottet Barilaro government. He's been a great friend to the bush. He's travelled with me extensively into all corners of regional rural New South Wales, and as Treasurer he has genuinely given...
Can this guy... I don't know. I genuinely don't know this. Can this guy get done can ICAC fuck with him after he leaves? Or nah? Is that a thing that can happen? Because it seems quite suspect that as soon as ICAC starts looking, 2 politicians quit. Yes, they can. Okay. He's still called on. Right. But, nothing happens if they've already quit? Or can they... I guess they can get into legal trouble. I guess if you quit before the proper, trial or whatever they do starts... Man, he's nutting right now. Look at this. Every time I pause it, we go straight back to the gangbang. What's happening right now is he hasn't got it up, but he is getting a blowjob. And he's like, that feels pretty good on my noodle. Have you seen Fight Club?
And need the tools, the resources to deliver for regional rural New South Wales.
Every frame is a fucking gangbang clip. I am nutting.
Count, no question, but under Perrottet, I tell you what, you're not going to be left behind.
He keeps his pension and benefits from being a public official if he isn't charged while being that. So if he quits early, he still retains it. I fucking knew these cunts. There's a reason why they do it, hey. The funniest thing about ICAC is it was created by the Liberals to disrupt a Labor government, but it didn't do much. But now it has taken down a Liberal New South Wales Premier and scared the rest of them. I didn't know that. That's hilarious. That's so funny.
And that's all hold him to account, no question. But look, Dom is a gentleman. Dom understands at times you've just got to make these decisions. And I today get to leave knowing that Dom Perrottet will be my mate.
Taylor ran for Monero, would you be... Sorry? If Bronny Taylor ran for Monero, would you be...
Love that. Just talking over the woman. Like, fuck you, bitch.
Monero, would you be... Sorry?
Look how angry she
Taylor
is.
ran for Monero, would you be throwing your support behind him?
Love how the dude's taking one question from a woman and he's like, all right, that's enough of you bitches. Pipe it down. I'm talking to the men.
Monero, would you be... Sorry?
Shut up,
Bronny
bitch.
Taylor
I'm
ran
talking
for
to
Monero,
a
would you
man.
be throwing your support behind her?
I'd always back Bronny Taylor for the Monero. She's already the unofficial member for Monero. She lives in Nimrabel, and she's been the upper house member and a minister. Look, I'm not sure that she'll do that. I know there'll be speculation.
Wow, someone who actually lives in the area they represent? That's fucking crazy, huh?
I have, over the 10 years, looked at, nurtured others, individuals...
Boring. Let's get a porn scene. Oh, yeah, bruh.
...community, and we'll have more to say about who may be our candidate and replace that. But look, Bronny's the minister, an important job. It'll be her call, but I don't think she'll do that.
Gladys and the Liberals actually just passed a bill saying that if someone is found guilty of misconduct after they leave office, they no longer keep their pension, even if they left before they were charged. That's a great fucking rule. I love that. She will regret that one. Yeah, maybe.
Leadership and who will be...
Oh my god, he's talking to a woman. Oh yeah, she's hot.
As your next leadership and who will be in a good team with Perrottet?
Mate, look, I could talk about every member of my team. All of them could lead this party into this next chapter and next journey. And you know, it's not my job. We don't have factions in the National Party. Well, we actually do. We have either the freshwater Nats or the saltwater Nats. That's the coastal Nats versus inland.
A nice little joke for you before I leave office. You guys wouldn't get it. It's a bit of an in-joke.
we will give everyone an opportunity to put their hand forward. Look, you know, there's been members that have been with the team for a long time that could put their hand up. My deputy, Paul Toole, of course, I've already heard that he's the front runner is picked by the media. The reality, all of them have the ability, and the party room on Wednesday will make that decision.
Would you expect there to be a number of people nominating there to be a vote? Mel Pavey's saying she's going to throw a hat in the ring.
Oh, look, we're a grassroots.
Now these questions are getting
party.
boring.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the
How
ballot.
long do we have
this
left?
idea that having a ballot isn't smooth transition. It's the respect of the debate and the respect of the ballot is what's important. And
I reckon anyone in this chat also has the ability. Facts, dude, absolutely.
And for me, that's all that matters. If there is more than one candidate that wants to want to put their hand up for the leadership, that's actually a good thing for our party and for democracy. But at the same time, it doesn't mean instability in relation to a transition. So look, let's see what happens over the next few days.
Bruh, when everyone is resigning suspiciously close to ICAC announcing an investigation into my boss, that's actually a good thing. And also, when I quit my job and then 6 other cunts all say they want to do it and then juke it out to get my job, that's actually a good thing. Also, the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. That's a cool quote from a movie which names escapes me at the moment.
That the Liberals don't is a slew of senior women who could step up. Sarah Mitchell's confirmed she'd like to run for deputy. Melinda Pavey is likely to run for the leadership. Would you like to see some more, the promotion of women in the national?
Well, one of my proudest achievements is on my watch. I promoted more women to ministry, to the Cabinet of New South Wales under my leadership. It's something I'm very proud of. In all the women in my party are in senior roles, be it a minister or a whip or parliamentary secretary positions. They've all had the opportunity under my leadership. Something I've, as a father of daughters, probably has made me realise that if you look at my whole career, from my chiefs of staff and to a lot of my staff, I've been surrounded by wonderful, strong women that have allowed me to be who I am. And I'd love to see that.
And the best thing about chicks, bruh, is they do what you tell them to do and they do a good job, so you don't have to do nothing. Which is why me resigning is actually a good thing.
Happen, but at the same time, one thing the National Party do really, really well, we pick the right candidate for the right time. We've proven as a party.
Isn't this cunt resigning? Like, what do you mean we picked the right candidate for the right time? The dude's like quitting. Like you're not the right. You're quitting over YouTube beef. You got dissed on a fucking YouTube website by an autistic Warhammer vlogger, and you're quitting. I wouldn't say that's the right pick.
Not only do we have great women in the party, but we have great men.
And that's where we farewell viewers on the main ABC channel in a number of states and territories. If you want to continue watching this, you can do so on the ABC News channel.
Okay, well, that guy just lied because there's now 6 more minutes.
I loved hearing about the Paralympics rumour. Look, I will take some time. I have no job, so I can make it clear that I'm not going into any job. The timeline of that.
That's a great little fucking soundbite, isn't it?
I loved hearing about the Paralympics rumour. Look, I will take some time. I have no job.
I really like that. I really like that. Just this here. Just one more time for me.
Take some time. I have no job, so I can make it clear that I'm not going into any job.
I have no job.
The timeline of that. I have spoken to a number of recruiters about what's out there. So, look, I'm comfortable with that. And I'm looking forward to see what is in the next chapter. But you know what?
That's really great how he's just come out and gone, I'm just going to get another job. Like, he wanted to be that's what this guy wants to be. He wants to be a businessman. Like, you can... The way that he acts, he talks, he operates, and the things that he's done. Dude doesn't want to be a politician, clearly. Or he would fight tooth and nail to retain his position. The guy just wants to fly under the radar and be a businessman and make heaps of money. And that's fine. That's admirable if you're not a fucking politician. Like, clearly, he just wants to make heaps of money. And don't tell me that you don't have a job when I have literally seen you in a plumbing outfit saving princesses and jumping on Goombas' heads. Don't tell me that's not a job. I've seen you, bro. You work hard. The man's in like fucking 35 different franchises. He's a tennis player. He's a go-kart driver. He's a professional golfer. He smashes the mini games, and he's a plumber. And he does all of that in Japan. And he runs an Airbnb. The man works hard.
We're opening pubs on Monday. Make sure everyone's double vaxxed for that. And we're in spring and we'll be in summer, so I'm going to take a little bit of time to have a think about what's next.
You said
Well, again, if that was the case, I wouldn't be allowed to comment anyway. So, as I said earlier, I just don't make any comments around the ICAC. The weeks, the months ahead, let's see what occurs. And today I've actually decided to go on my accord.
I reckon that he's actually quitting. Like, this is all bullshit. The real reason he's quitting is he's actually going to be giving acting lessons to Chris Pratt for his upcoming role in the Mario film. Because this guy is truly the only person that can teach Chris. There's the voice actor, but he just does voice acting. This guy is Mario.
As I said earlier, I was thinking about leaving at a time in the future. I think the events now give me an honest opportunity to do this in a transparent way. So that's what I have to say. I'm leaving today because of the very reasons that I've said earlier, that it's time, because of the 10.5 years, the defamation case definitely playing a big part of this.
Okay. Oh, boo. Oh, John's sad about a defamation case that he voluntarily filed and is continuing to pursue. Oh, boo. Get some F's in the chat for John, who really hates it when he puts his hand in fire and then it becomes hot. Oh.
I don't know how many of you can endure what I've endured on online. I feel for young men and women, young boys and girls that get bullied on social media. I feel for them.
Come on, dude. It's the young people that are bullying you. Don't pull this shit. You're not getting fucking bullied. You're being held to account by the public. That's what being a fucking politician is. You can't do some shit that the people you represent dislike and then call them complaining about you bullying. That's not fucking bullying. Someone getting told to kill themselves by a high school peer is bullying. This shit is not bullying, dude. You're a public figure and you represent people who have every right to comment and criticize your behavior. That's what the fucking job is. Don't call that shit bullying. That's actually pathetic. That fucking makes me mad that this cunt is trying to spin people getting upset at the actions he has taken as a politician as bullying. Shut up, bro.
Defamation case definitely playing a big part of this. I don't know how many of you can endure what I've endured on online. I feel for young men and women.
See how he stumbled on that? He's like, I feel for young, and then he remembered who it was that was writing all of the bruz messages. Like, fuck, it's young people.
A big part of this. I don't know how many of you can endure what I've endured on online. I feel for young men and women, young boys and girls that get bullied on social media. I feel for them because as someone that's been around the traps, a 49-year-old man that's played it rough and tough, I've got to tell you that it's made it very difficult for me. Very, very difficult for me when you get online and the abuse you cop started by disgusting, vile, racist commentary.
And that's where we welcome viewers.
Hey, that was the good bit.
Conference with New South Wales.
That's
Deputy
the
Premier
shut
John
up,
Barilaro.
dude.
He's just announced he is going to be stepping
That's
down.
the fucking
Don't allow this to happen.
Oh, are you? What? What did he say? We just missed a fucking brilliant run-on sentence about Jordan. Are you? Now I'm upset. Are you kidding? Dude. Man, honestly though, that's actually pathetic that this dude is calling that, like, fair enough. All right, hate Jordan. Cool. That's fine. That's understandable as a guy who's gone after you. That's sweet. But don't call, like, regular people commenting on your social media about your fucking actions, like, bullying. It's the public responding to you and your behavior. One thing I do appreciate is that Australian politicians are so fucking ready to resign when under massive scrutiny. You'll never see a member of Congress or executive in the US resign over anything. That's true. That's true. Maybe, I mean, I don't know that much about US politics and the differences, but maybe because US politics is so much bigger than Australia's. So, like, scrutiny, there's just less people to scrutinize. So when you cop it, it's magnified a lot.
Anything looming for you?
No, nothing's looming for me.
Resign at a time in the future. When was that?
Nerd.
Why was that?
I think
Nerd.
that's irrelevant. I think it's irrelevant. I was planning an exit for all the same reasons. I just think the opportunities that come forward, and I've taken it.
What do you think that the people of New South Wales that are quite unsettled by this? They don't see it as a refresh, they see it as the government's crumbling.
No, not at all. We've seen this before, and we'll see it again. You know, federally we had a change of the deputy Prime Minister recently in the leader of the National Party. Previous day we had a change of Prime Ministers. We've seen that.
Yeah, and that was awful. Like that. Don't go, oh, you know, we've seen it before and we've seen it again. That's shit. People want people who they vote for to stick around and do their fucking job. Don't go, oh, it's fine. It's absolutely not fine when two leaders of a state resign at the same time. That's not, like, either, right, the guy is admitting that him and Gladys do absolutely fuck all, right? Because if it's fine for two of the leaders to leave, that means they weren't doing fucking anything. Or it's a disaster. Both of those things are bad. Like, don't go, oh no, it's totally fine when the leaders quit, because the secret is we don't fucking do anything. Right? So, like, that's, like, so fucking pathetic that this dude is trying to explain away regular people who voted for him being upset that the man's quitting right after his fucking boss did, as like, oh, this happens all the time, it's fine.
In the past decade, every day of the week, and governments get re-elected, governments continue. It's more than one person. There is a team, and I can assure the people of New South Wales.
I can assure the people of New South Wales, me and Gladys did fuck all. And that's why us resigning at the same time is fine. Is that what the dude's saying?
This exit doesn't change the commitment of this government, the determination of this government to continue through this pandemic and to continue serving its citizens. And for that, I'm very confident and comfortable with my decision today.
The front runner right now to win next year?
Should never take anything into account. I think John Barilaro, if he is Premier, and whoever leads in that, have got a tough fight in 2023, no question about it. You're talking about a fourth-term Liberal Nationals government, unheard of. A third term was historic in itself.
Jordan dropped another video? All right. Okay. Let's watch it. I think this is fucking over. Right, let's watch, he just dropped another one? Okay, all right. I need to watch this one first because I have not watched this one. So
John Barilaro resigned. Here's my immediate thoughts. We'll go more in depth in this obviously later, but for now, bottoms up. How fitting is this to toast John's 10 years in Parliament? We were going to do another pop-off, but the cork popped off camera. Here's to you fizzer. Jesus, keep this up and I'll actually have to buy champagne glasses. Nah, still not going to do it. But still, isn't that amazing? You know how the trope constantly is, they say that a week is an eternity in politics. A weekend is an eternity. A salute!
Has a red bar. I haven't watched this one. I don't know what the fucking red bar's for. I have not watched this one. Oh no, I opened the premiere and I saw that it was halfway through. I haven't watched this shit. How good's this Isaac title? Lesbian feminist really hates men. Classic. That one bangs.
Yeah, so, you know, the team and I are off the charts happy at the moment, but a few weeks ago, I said I'd let John do himself slowly, and let's just say, you saw the press conference, right? With the guy at the beginning.
No, there'll be a koala over here going, yeah!
I bet someone's licking their wounds today. Doesn't it?
I love that. The fucking sound guy is laughing.
He's playing the victim, even when he's clearly not the victim. Because need I remind you who started the lawsuit, John? What the hell is up with politicians like Christian Porter and Barilaro threatening to bankrupt people over journalism? Then, when it inevitably blows up in their face, who plays the victim?
Yeah.
Who is advising them? But whatever made Barilaro resign, he claims it's because he wanted to sue me privately and not in the public eye. Not sure if that's the only reason, or even the main reason. But whatever the reason is, it's a sad day for comedy and a good day for the environment.
But this shit is not going to be private. Like, if Jordan keeps talking about it, it's going to be very public, and everyone is going to be keeping tabs on it. I mean, I will be. I will be fucking updating people. Absolutely. So that idea that he's trying to sue Jordan privately is just not going to happen. It's not reality.
Because let's just all take a moment to appreciate where this started. The deputy premier that blames this microphone for his demise, saying that, yeah, the press gave me a really good run, tough but fair questions, aka him on 2GB saying, mate, what is the nation going to do with some deputy premier who doesn't know the entire front lineup of the Penrith Panthers? I mean, who are the clowns that are going to be leading us? People that don't have the time to watch the footy every Friday? But this all started because we were obviously really distraught with the...
Yeah, we'll watch the new Geordie video after this one.
Environmental record of a premier and a deputy premier that couldn't give a about the 1,000 endangered native species that they put on the endangered native species list. It is honestly a record that is up there with Brazil. It is horrendous. This is something that when they say, oh, history will look back on me kindly, I hope to God not. I hope to God people will look back in history and think, those people brought us to the brink. That is what's really fitting for their legacy. What is fitting for their legacy is that these two were the most destructive people in this nation's history to the unique ecosystems of this country. That they really did everything they could in their power to wipe out already vulnerable ecosystems. And let's just...
Man, it's fucking true though. Like, if politicians don't give a fuck about our native animals, see you later. We're the only country that has these types of animals. Like, Australia is known for our weird animals. Every fucking comment by an American is like, oh man, you guys have spiders and snakes and crazy shit. Your animals are strange. I went to New York, everyone's asking about kangaroos and koalas and this and that. Like, it's what our country's known for, and if politicians aren't going to fucking protect them, see ya.
Hope that the next generation, led by Dom Perrottet, and honestly, matey, I've heard some things that behind the scenes, you're constantly saying that your government has been doing the wrong thing when it comes to the environment. Let's just hope that you do something when you're there, which... I am optimistic about the fact that Matt Keane was obviously pulling the strings and said, all right, how about this? 2 national parks and I'll swear you in as Premier. Nope, not going to happen. Okay, you are now officially Premier. Look, obviously that's speculation at this point, but I'm going to put that in inverted commas. Speculation! Congratulations on your victory, Dom. But... God, I hope that something there changes. Even though, let's be honest, nothing will. But for now, I think you'll forgive me if I have ourselves a little cheeky, whatever this cheap bottle is. I can't even remember at this point, but it was this.
Oh, Jordan said speculation correctly. That's true. Someone's pointed out speculation, especially speculation.
Most expensive bubbly on tap at my local BWS. Look, if what John is saying is correct, and we're responsible for him stepping down as Deputy Premier, that is a huge indictment on the press that they are not highlighting his horrendous record as Deputy Premier of this country. And let's be honest, the Shadow Emperor, he really was pulling the strings behind the scene.
It's true though. I mean, when did Jordan start talking about this guy? Like, if you look at his channel, when did he properly, 5 months ago was the Big Braz Eternal video, right? And then just 5 months after that big, massive video, he resigns. Which means that he couldn't handle, a few 100,000 views and comments about his behavior. All right, so this is the first one, right? Maybe not. I don't know. A year ago. Let's say a year and a bit. He's talking about Braz. I can't find anything before that. Looks like about a year ago, he started properly talking about Braz. Just over a year of Braz stuff. So, after a year of one autistic Warhammer daily vlogger posting videos about this guy calling him a meatball and talking about his behavior in Parliament and things that he potentially has done, he quits. Which means that for 9 years, the press was either ignoring it and letting it happen, or not even noticing what he was doing, or just approving of it, which is a terrible thing for the press.
Because he could just pull the same nuke button option every time of, I'm going to go to the crossbench. And then he gets exactly what he wants every time. It is a great service to this state that you step down. In fact, it's the only good thing you've done in your 10 years. Decide to run away with your tail between your legs. Isn't that a perfect end to this man's career? 10 years of complete self-service. At least that's over. Maybe we might have a Deputy Premier that has some skerrick of a social conscience. Again, I'm not holding my breath, but as I've said, everyone that I've talked to in Parliament, same thing. He's the roadblock. Any progress at all on the critical issue facing our times. The environment,
It seems like it must be very fucking scary. See, now, before I say my point, I've just noticed that every time we paused John Barilaro's frame, it looked like he was trying to get it up at a gangbang but just couldn't get hard. Every time I pause a Jordan video, he looks like the director yelling at John. Like, come on, dude, I'm paying you $70. Can you fucking get it up? We need one more load and then we can all go home. Like, are you serious? He's going, are you fucking, that's it? That's all you have? Come on, dude, I'm paying you $70.
Always the roadblock. So the fact that he's gone, thank God. What I'd also like to say is thank you for your interest in this subject. It really is quite... I mean, look, I don't want to get teary here, and I won't because I'm not putting on the crocodile tears like John was, but I've got to say, thank you so much for everybody who donated to Christo and mine's lawsuit. It really was. The only reason that we are here at this point is because you guys chucked in your cash. And can I just take this opportunity to say, can you chuck in some more cash? Because, come on, those guys deserve a raise. Like the rest of the gang that don't want to be mentioned on camera for obvious reasons. But chuck in a couple of bucks for them because that's where the money goes on Patreon. And also... you see what happens when you band together. Despite the fanfare that Gladys Berejiklian got, she had to step down.
It's true, man. Like, as someone who creates content, has a Patreon, streams on Twitch. Like, people funding your shit is incredible. Like, oh, John Barilaro's in the chat. Welcome, John, mate. You got a lot of free time these days. How are you? Yeah, if there's nothing scarier to politicians, to businesses, to people in power, people that can be held to account, than independently funded journalists, comedians, entertainers, because we can't be told, hey, don't do that. Hey, never make that video again, because we're funded by the audience. That's why I'm always a big advocate of, like, hey, if you like something, it doesn't have to be me.
I'm not taking...
If it is me, great. If it's not, awesome. If you enjoy watching someone, give them a couple of bucks on Patreon, buy their merch, see them live. Like, it makes a huge fucking difference, and it's the only way that people can continue to do what they're doing without having to be controlled by outside influences like brands or bosses or this or that.
Any credit for that at all. That was obviously the courts. But at least we have the counter-narrative there. At least it isn't just complete Nine Fairfax cult worship of it. Did you see that? Did you see that when she resigned, it was like Kim Jong-il dying?
Yeah.
Here's the difference, though. Gladys Berejiklian didn't die. She's still getting hundreds of flowers out the front of her office. That is because
so
the
funny.
entire slant, I've never seen anything like it in this country. The slant the media has, that is another step when we are getting to the point that they have this cult-like worship of this.
It is fucking crazy seeing, like, I saw like this really viral post about, like, oh, Christian Porter didn't get fired and he has rape allegations, but Gladys has to resign because she had a bad boyfriend. And it's like, those two issues are so not the same at all. Like, obviously Christian I don't think he should have a job. Like, fuck that guy. See you later. But she didn't have a bad boyfriend. She had a boyfriend that she decided to keep secret and seemingly appeared to, maybe as a joke, helped him get millions and millions of dollars, $5.5 million in grants that he previously wasn't eligible for. And then there's recordings of her on the phone of him telling her something that would look very corrupt, and her literally saying, I don't need to know about that, which is apparently evidence that she knew what she was doing. Like, that shit's not fucking similar at all. And people are like, oh, she got us through tough times in COVID. Okay, cool. Well, let's pretend that she did a great job. She didn't, but let's say she did. If you do a good job in one area as a politician, but then you're also corrupt, that you get fired. Like, I can't be a fucking incredible comedian and then just be like robbing my fans as they leave the theater. Like, hey, thanks for coming to the show. Give me your wallet or I'll break your nose. Like,
this woman who had to resign on corruption suspicion as the premier, and yet we are getting, oh, this is the best premier we ever had. The best premier we ever had. Surely there was some down the line, if you look at Wikipedia with anyone with those mutton chop moustaches, that was a little bit better. And obviously, I'll be very interested in what develops in your story, John, because I think there's a little more to it than you saying that you're being completely honest and upright with your reasons of resignation. But let's see what happens in the future, which is why, please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe today, because result...
Come on, mate. I want to get to the next one.
You guys tuning in. Get somebody else to subscribe to it, just so that there is at least a counter-narrative there. At least there is somebody substantively saying, look, there's a little more to the story than, she was there for the bushfires. Yeah, she was. What, because she sat there like Nero and watched the state burn, she deserves all this praise.
Am I not
for
subscribed?
cutting the budgets of both the National Parks and Wildlife
What the
Service
fuck?
and the emergency.
I'm not subscribed? That's weird. I'm definitely subscribed to this cunt. I subscribed years ago. That's weird.
Services, but she was there. She sat down while the state burned.
Man,
worst
I'm a fake
response
fan.
out of all of the three.
What a shit friend I am. This cunt's been in my house.
major states in this country, but you were there. Somebody has to at least point it out. At least get somebody to subscribe to this channel to say, can we get past that? That level of... The entire press has that as their final... That's as deep as it got. Pathetic. But anyway, make sure that you subscribe. Give us a few bucks on Patreon. If you treat this channel like you treat a newspaper, treat it like a newspaper. And not news.com that you get for free. I'm talking about the Sydney Morning Herald behind the paywall. All right. Thank you so much, though. We are happy. We are going to have a little celebration via Zoom. And
great,
guys,
all right.
I cannot appreciate
Wrap it
enough
up.
the fact that you are taking interest in state politics.
Yeah, okay.
See you with hopefully something.
Yeah, all right, mate. Let's watch the next one. Okay, and then I'm probably going to wrap up here. Here we go.
Look, no jokes. Today's video is going to be short. It's a sad story that exposes the rank hypocrisy and alleged misconduct of the very top of the Liberal Party. I've been made aware of emails that allege serious misconduct by senior Liberals. These emails are written by a female Liberal Party member to the state executive complaining about alleged misconduct from multiple senior figures in the Liberal Party.
I love how much Jordan has evolved. Did you catch that word? This is a new word in Jordan's vocab.
Senior Liberals. These emails are written by a female Liberal Party
member
go. To the state executive complaining about alleged misconduct.
Alleged. I've never heard that word on this man's channel until about 3 months ago. I'm not sure why that's happened. I haven't heard that for 3 months. That's a new word for Jordan. And you know what? It's good to learn new things. You know, every day is a brand new day to learn something.
Emails are written by a female Liberal Party member to the state executive complaining about alleged misconduct from multiple senior figures in the Liberal Party. The first section I'll read is about the response this Liberal member received from a very senior staffer in the Prime Minister's office. This woman complained to the staffer about alleged harassment she experienced at the hands of the former senior Liberal MP and his family. I'll codename the Prime Minister's office staff as Steve and the senior Liberal MP Ben. References to a specific electorate will be omitted. A section of it reads as follows. Steve had been very supportive of my professional career, whether it was seeking a government appointment or running for pre-selection at the next election in the electorate. However, after 2 visits to my home where he behaved extremely inappropriately in what can only be described as a sexual manner, I understand that he has changed his mind. On each occasion, my vulnerability in relation to what Ben and his family had been doing to me was abundantly clear. I am not suggesting that Steve's actions constituted assaults, but I would characterise them as highly improper. After the first incident, I asked him to help me understand what was going through his mind. It was on the basis that he was going to apologise that I allowed him to visit me the second time.
Oh my God.
It was during this visit, after another very emotional conversation about what had occurred with Ben, that the second incident took place. I will elaborate on these if required. At this stage, I would prefer to spare his family the details that any written communication may divulge. I also appreciate that there are aspects of Steve's and my friendship over the years that may be relevant, and I'm open to discussing those further. This email got no response from the senior person on the state executive.
Bro, there seems to be a real bad problem of this sex shit among politicians in this country. That's pretty up there. I mean, it's not like... Obviously, doesn't seem to be rape, as this woman is saying, but I guess maybe what John was saying was true, where it's like, bruh, it doesn't matter if I quit, because the fact of the matter is, even if Gladys and I quit, everyone else was doing our job anyway. Most of the big bosses are just running around trying to root their employees. So as long as we get to fuck a few of them, instead of all of them, the government will run smoothly whether or not we're there.
Executive that it was emailed to, an email not only alleging misconduct by a former senior MP, but an inappropriate sexual behaviour from an incredibly senior staffer within the Prime Minister's office. In fact, this staffer from the Prime Minister's office had had the task of dealing with other serious allegations, and when he was subjected to allegations himself, the Liberal Party didn't respond. After months of no response, the Liberal member sent another email to the same executive of the Liberal Party detailing an allegation of how she felt like she'd been tricked into a relationship with that same senior MP, and how that may constitute a breach of the Liberal Party Code of Conduct.
Okay.
It reads as follows. I've codenamed the executive Jim. Hi Jim, I refer to my email below of 1 December 2020. I have not received a response to that correspondence. I note that the Code of Conduct was announced yesterday and is immediately enforceable. As you're aware, it's been 3 years since I raised this matter of Ben with the...
Man, and they did nothing. They didn't even try to find out if it was true. That's fucked. I don't know about you, but if someone that worked for me came to me and was like, hey, my coworker, like, really made me feel uncomfortable, I would be rushing to sort out and figure out what happened. I wouldn't be ignoring that shit. That's fucking gross. That sucks.
Party. I'm unsure if the party's panel can hear a matter where consent was provided to someone based on him lying about his marital status. Given that I had rejected Ben on a prior occasion and explained that I had no interest in being with a married man, his decision to lie was very calculated. It was certainly not informed consent that I provided. Given Ben's position, there's a level of seriousness to this matter which I believe has been overlooked. I have, on more than one occasion, had to refer matters to police due to serious threats to the safety of myself and my family. The Liberal Party has yet to take any disciplinary action against Ben. Given the trauma that I sustained to this day, I do not see the Ben matter as historical. We put questions to all parties involved and as of filming this, received no response. Now you might think, is it responsible for me to air these serious allegations publicly? After all, I want to make clear, these are just allegations in a series of confidential emails. I am not for a second alleging anything myself. The reason they had to be...
See, that's the lawsuit. This little sentence here, that's very new for Jordan.
Received no response. Now you might think, is it responsible for me to air these serious allegations publicly?
Here comes the lawsuit
clear,
in his head.
Just allegations in a series of confidential emails. I am not for a second alleging anything myself. The reason they had to be aired publicly is because this woman for 3 years has tried to deal with these allegations internally, and in return she is alleged to receive more harassment from the Prime Minister's office and no response, let alone action from the Liberal Party as evidenced in these emails. This is an issue that wasn't going to be solved internally. Let's see if Scott Morrison from marketing shows an interest now that the issue's public. What's the bet he'll get Phil Gaetjens to do some bullshit review that stays secret and finds nothing? I've published redacted versions of the full letters. I'm not going to say anything more.
Nice little bombshell to drop today. Yeah, that is... that's fucked. If true, that's fucked. Of course, it could all be false. It's all alleged. If true, that's fucked. That's what's really interesting about the... I'm about to end the stream, by the way. I might just say my final thoughts before I go. That's what's really interesting about the evolution of Jordan's channel, where it's just gone from, silly, relatable. No, I don't want to watch Jordan Peterson argue with some woman with short hair. Absolutely not. That's what's interesting about Jordan's channel, is that it's gone from, silly, relatable videos to, like, funny political videos to videos that are literally changing the course of the country. And then shit like this is new, where it's like scoops. Like, he's great, but he previously wasn't really like first to things. He was always aggregating shit and then packaging it in a way that was really great and really interesting for young people to get people politically aware. But what's new in like the last 8 months is like new shit that hasn't been reported at all. Like, people are now coming to him and his team and going, hey, this shit happened, and they're the first ones to report it. So that's really cool, because it's entering now like the level of real, actual news. More impact. And like those regional videos that they've been doing, like going and covering the droughts and like how the water market is like fucking over regular people. Like, that shit that the news is not doing at all. Like, the stuff that he was doing, even a year ago, the news was doing it, just not in a funny way, because most of the sources he was using were mainstream media articles. But now he's like full on, properly, actually creating from scratch news, which is really, really cool to see.